bite-sized English lesson with Muslim Jubilee, and today we are looking at using as, in, at, for in sentences about work. When someone asks you about your job or about your work, you can make sentences with as, in, for, or at, and it is often confusing. So let's look at each of these options. When someone asks you, what do you do? Or what is your job? You can answer by making a sentence with work as and a word for a job. For example, a cashier. I work as a cashier, or I am a cashier. A teacher. She works as a teacher, or she is a teacher. A dentist. He works as a dentist, or he is a dentist. When someone asks you, where do you work? You can answer by making a sentence with work in and a word for industry. For example, hospitality. I work in hospitality. Education. She works in education. Healthcare. He works in healthcare. And you can answer the same question by making a sentence with work for and a word for a company. For example, McDonald's. I work for McDonald's. Staffordshire University. She works for Staffordshire University. NHS. He works for NHS. And you can answer the same question by making a sentence with work at or work in and a word for a place. For example, a restaurant or the city centre. I work at a restaurant. I work in the city centre. A university or Stoke-on-Trent. She works at a university. She works in Stoke-on-Trent. A hospital or London. He works at a hospital. He works in London. So when someone asks you, what do you do? You can talk about a job, about industry, about a company, or about a place. Let's look at these examples again. I work as a cashier. I work in hospitality. I work for McDonald's. I work at the restaurant. I work in the city centre. And you can also say, I work at the McDonald's restaurant in the city centre. I work as a teacher. I work in education. I work for Staffordshire University. I work at the university. I work in Stoke-on-Trent. And you can also say, I work at the Staffordshire University in Stoke-on-Trent. I work as a dentist. I work in healthcare. I work for National Healthcare Service, or I work for NHS. I work at the hospital. I work in London. And you can also say, I work at the hospital in London. I hope you like this video, and if you have any questions, comments or feedback, please post them on our Muslim Jubilee Facebook page or Study English with Friends Facebook group. And watch this space for the information about our free live online lessons on Zoom. Thank you for watching.